This is Reality Super Fighting in the Circle of Truth. And our first matchup, Tom Erikson against Aleksander Khramstovskly. And here is the tale of the tape for these fine combatants. As you see, age 1 year differential for the Russian, 1 inch differential in height, and the weight advantage of 20 pounds for Khramstovskly. The discipline Sambo against freestyle wrestling. And right now, it is time for the combatants to enter the Circle of Truth. The rules for Reality Super Fighting in the Circle of Truth. All striking techniques permitted except to the throat. No biting, gouging, fish hooking. All submission holds and joint locks are permitted. Fence may not be used as an offensive or defensive weapon when the bout is indeed in progress. Also, fighter submits when he taps out, and we'll explain that if indeed it takes place. The corner can also toss in the towel, and the referee or ring physician can indeed stop the contest, and there can be a disqualification. Those are the rules. Let's go now to our ring announcer, Chuck Hall.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the Alabama State Fair Arena in Birmingham, Alabama. Mars presents Reality Super Fighting in the Circle of Truth. This event features an 8-man elimination with 3 match fights, pitting the devastation of Brazilian athletes versus the combat capabilities of Russia's best. And included in tonight's card is the feature bout of the evening, the Super Fight. The officials assigned for this event this evening, the attending physician at ringside is Dr. Raj Panda, and your referee is Fred Latuli. The opening bout, ladies and gentlemen, featuring a young man from Russia who advocates the Sambo style of combat. He weighs in at 300 pounds. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. Introducing Aleksander Khramstovskly. And his opponent this evening, he features freestyle wrestling, a popular Olympic competitor from the United States of America. He weighs 280 pounds, stands at 6 feet 4 inches tall. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the very popular Tom Erikson.
Ron Van Cleef, Dr. Alan Brackup will give you insightful commentary as this bout is just about ready to begin. Are you ready? Let's do it. Gentlemen, 2 big men in the ring early.
Interesting, Erikson is going with punches initially, now to the ground.
And this is exactly where Erikson would want his opponent.
Erikson has been training with Mark Coleman, well-versed in this type of fighting.
You know, I watched Tom wrestle last night, and he was saying he was going to be very, very aggressive today. And he's doing exactly what he was trying to say.
Not wasting any time, using wrestling techniques, of course, from the freestyle.
He's taking his opponent's back, and it looks like he's going for a choke. A naked strangle. Khramstovskly wouldn't let him take the neck. Erikson is softening him up with a rain of elbow attacks.
Once again, it is Erikson who has been in entire control of this match early.
Right now, in truth, the Russian is hanging on.
You know, Tom is trying to distract him with the elbow strikes in order to get his neck up to go for the choke.
Absolutely, that's his goal, and that's all the Russian's doing right now. He's covering up that neck, willing to withstand these blows to prevent a final submission. Erikson has the hooks in well. With great finds, he's in complete control on his opponent's back.
Looks like he's going for an armbar.
Could that be a submission hold if he were to get it?
Yes, it would. It could be, though. It's difficult to get from his back. He's turning his opponent over, going into a mounted position almost. There's one leg caught between his opponent's legs. Really put all Erikson.
Those elbow strikes can be very devastating in as far as disorienting an opponent.
Watch your fighter!
We just see no attempt from the Russian fighter to try and escape from this position.
Tom is in total control of this match.
This is certainly a far cry from traditional freestyle wrestling, as he would have done for the Olympics.
Get the doctor to come and look and hold the position. Hold the position.
At this time, they're calling the ringside physician to take a look at the Russian fighter to see if he's still in condition to continue.
All right, so the referee right on top of the action. The action will be stopped, but they won't let them move from that position.
Neither one, don't move. No advance.
The ringside physician will now come in and examine the fighter.
What he's looking for here is the fighter able to continue? Is he cognizant of everything going on around him? Or are there cuts that really would be dangerous if this were allowed to continue?
You ready? Begin!
And the match is allowed to continue.
Well, the Russian is giving his arm up there. If you notice, his right arm is being extended, and Erikson will take advantage of that at the time.
You know, the Russians are so tough, they will not concede a match. They will not submit.
Ron, you have been in the ring several times with Russian fighters, and they just refuse to quit.
They refuse to quit.
Khramstovskly obviously at a distinct disadvantage and has been the entire portion of this fight.
It is interesting what he's doing with his arms right now and trying to counter Erikson. These are not the moves of someone who's experienced in this type of fighting from the ground.
Holding that fence. Watch the fence.
Again, Erikson has his left arm if he wants to do something with it, but he's content to rain blows down upon Khramstovskly.
And at this particular time now, are both fighters sort of taking a little break, Ron, or?
Actually, Tom is trying to get it over with, but
He's having a
it's
struggle.
difficult because he's a big man and he's tough. I mean, he's just a tough guy.
And he refuses to submit.
Beat off the fence.
You know, I've trained in Russia. They will not submit. That's part of the Russian discipline.
Again, the Russian fighter is on his stomach, the worst possible position.
Tom Erikson, the freestyle wrestling man from the USA, in charge.
You know, what we've seen in the past in looking at wrestlers in this type of event is that they're extremely good in taking their opponent to the ground. They're extremely good in establishing their dominance in their base. Their deficit is in submission hold, finishing the fight.
Finishing movements, that's true.
We're seeing it here.
So he really doesn't have a particular move to finish the opponent off quickly.
He doesn't have enough moves or the skill there.
He's actually going for the choke, but it's kind of hard because he's keeping his neck down.
We've seen wrestlers like Tom Erikson destroy their opponents over time. They beat them down, but they don't finish them as readily as, for example, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stylist Mike, trained in this type of fight. the other thing to consider here is this is a single elimination tournament. Tom Erikson's going to have to fight again, and he's expending energy here.
That's correct.
These events are very difficult in that you expend so much energy in your first fight. And your second fight, it's very difficult. You have to be in extremely good condition to fight 3 fights to win an event like this.
And we're talking, as we mentioned, about 2 of the biggest men in this tournament itself. One at 300 pounds and Erikson at 280.
Extremely unorthodox for the Russian fighter to be on his stomach and just withstanding these blows. Again, Erikson would love to just finish this off with a submission hold.
Well, I think when they asked for the ring doctor to check out Khramstovskly, I think Erikson felt that that would have been the beginning of the end, but that has not materialized.
He's been going for the arm, the Russian's right arm, but he's unable to get it thus far.
It's there. It's right there.
And he's been able to grasp it, right?
He's not comfortable with taking it, it appears. He's not willing to go for the bar, because if you miss the bar, you lose your position of dominance. Then he's on his back. Then he has to start over again. Now we're looking at a leg. Oh, there's an attempted leg lock and back.
Once again, there has been virtually no offense from the Russian, Khramstovskly.
The Russian has taken over 50 shots by now.
Eriksson's looking tired to me. What do you think, Ron?
Well, I was going to ask you, could it be similar to a heavyweight boxing match? Could he punch himself out?
Of course.
Absolutely. Although we must say Erikson looks to be in superb shape for this event. But yes, he can.
He finally got the choke.
Well, it's on the chin right now. See if he can tuck it under the chin. He hasn't been able to do so far. You know, Erikson has big arms. It's to his disadvantage in terms of trying to bring that around under the chin across the neck.
Still unable to get off the mat as Erikson has had him there the entire bout.
The Russian really hasn't tried.
That knee was excellent.
Again, Erikson moving around him, as would a freestyle wrestler, as we would expect. Keeping that pace, keeping it dominant.
I mean, it's fascinating to see how the freestyle fighters are able to use punches and elbows and knees. How quickly they acclimate to this event.
But it's also interesting to see how someone as large as the Russian fighter is able to withstand that a true submission. Now, this is applying pressure to the ankle, but it's off.
But he couldn't hang on to it.
No, he couldn't. He's going back to what he was doing. I'm sure Erikson's very frustrated right now. Saying, what else do I have to do to this guy to give up?
And the blows which he was administering early in the fight do not seem to have the same effect right now.
He's a two-handed player.
He's already tired.
He certainly is. Yeah, but he has some excellent fighters to come up against later in this event. The referee is admonishing the Russian fighter now to fight back.
He has been unable to fight back from the opening seconds of this bout. And this has been the position in which the fighters have been in. All Tom Erikson thus far.
No, if Erikson were in a Freestyle match, there's such a thing as stalling.
Well, I think the ring doctor just stepped in and called it. He did. That's it. So Tom Erikson, who expended an awful lot of energy, finally comes up with a victory.
Well, that Russian fighter was able to withstand tremendous punch.
It's amazing the discipline and the concentrative ability that the Russians have. I mean, they're unbelievable. The pain tolerance is extremely high.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, let's face facts. I mean, the guy can really take the pain and the punching.
What Erikson really needed were finishing holds at that point.
Mm-hmm. And look at him gasp for air. I mean, he is the winner, but you know what? He knows he's going to have to fight in just a few more minutes.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to show you the immediate beginning of this fight, and watch Erikson with a couple of quick shots right there, and then the immediate takedown, and it put Tom Erikson in control right from the get-go.
Absolutely. We'd expect a fighter of this international caliber to be able to do this.
And then for the next 7 or 8 minutes, this is the way that the fight continued until the ring doctor said that was it.
We've seen this before multiple times. We've seen Mark Coleman in this type of event. We've seen Mark Schultz in this type of event. Superb wrestlers. If anything, the weakness is the finishing hold.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 9 minutes 26 seconds, referee Fred Latuli stops the bout. The winner from the United States of America, Tom Erikson.
Well, so Tom Erikson advances in the tournament.